Hello everyone and welcome back to more Hollow Knight. In the last episode, we explored deep within the Crystal Peak and found the Crystal Heart, a really cool upgrade that allows us to basically fly. In this episode, we are going to finish exploring the Crystal Peak and see what else the world has in store for us. Starting here, back up at the bench, I am once again going to equip the Mark of Pride. I meant Mark of Pride, not Shaman Stone. Mark of Pride. So that's going to be nifty for something that I want to do up ahead. And starting up here at this observation deck where we ran into Quirrell last episode, I want to head over here to the right because there's these gaps in the ceiling that we saw when we first explored over this way. And another one all the way in this dead end, guarded by one of the minor husks. We are going to do our best to do something kind of tricky here. Not quite. Oop, almost. Come on, man. Yes! Yes! See ya, nerds! Gravity does not hold me. And we find our way into a new area of the Crystal Peak, filled with these crystallized husks, which seem to be essentially weaker versions of the Crystal Guardians, capable of doing the same Iron Man hand lasers. Now, it was possible for us to get up here when we first ran over this way, but I wanted to wait until we had the Crystal Heart, because it's going to make exploring this area just that much easier. Jeez. Don't target me, please. Dealing with something. We find a whispering root up here. Now these things are weird because they stop doing the their shot when you hit them, which can make them both like easier to deal with and more difficult, all depending on your perspective on how you basically deal with, like, approach them. Now this room looks difficult. No. No. Yes, ouch. Oh my goodness. Thank goodness for that 7th mask. Apparently I need it. And this room is going to basically stretch our stretch our dash length to the limits here. Try and get this grub over here. Glad to save you, little guy. Ow! Jeez Louise. This is claustrophobic. Oh, come on. Can I not leave? No! No, don't die. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Jeez Louise, that was so tight. Now back out here, I committed a faux pas and left without gathering all the soul essence that I needed. Or dream essence. Looks like none of it manifested over to the right there. So instead, we are going to head off to the left. Wow, these jumps in here are just so tight. Obviously, by the circuitous method by which we entered this room, a lot of the jumps in here are basically intended for us to have something we don't have. And I'm trying not to allude too directly to what exactly that might be. There we go. That's basically a good way to beat him, is just face him down, no fear. Basically, a lot of the jumps in here actually might look impossible, just at first glance, or at least like they're not really intended to be done. But we can fully explore this place after getting into it, so fret not. If you can launch yourself off that pickaxe, come on, dude, that's just mean. I had nowhere to go. So as I was saying, if you can launch yourself off that pickaxe, you can be just okay. And they put one here to make sure we have to go down. And they put it over a pit. Actually, you know, that works out because it put us back up here. That's perfect. Tactical death. Up here in the upper area, it's going to be apparent pretty soon here why I wanted to have the Crystal Heart before coming up this way. Can you don't? Thank you. Bully him! Bully him! Don't give anyone a chance to breathe. Leave me be. Man, there's a lot of enemies up here. And all really tough ones, too. Another one of those. Like, some of them can be invincible from certain angles or at certain times. These ones have the ability to increase the amount of hazards in the space. The beams are, like, instantaneous. Oh, shoot. I shouldn't have broken that thing. Oh, darn it. Hang on. I'll be right back. Alright, out. Shoot, meanie. By the way, in case I did not make this clear, this, these whole nail pogo shenanigans are why I wanted to bring the Mark of Pride along with me on this little climb. The tricks are not too difficult. They're just matters of timing more than precision. Oh, rude. But they are made much easier. Oh man, got a 1-2 punch there. Okay, you deserved that mean sort of thing. I need your spikes to go away. Those are in a terrible spot. Thank you. Okay. And up here, be on the lookout. Obviously there are going to be crystals everywhere because we're in the Crystal Peak, but outside the Crystal Peak, you may notice little crystals like this. That is the game hinting at where to use the crystal dash. Such as right here, and putting an enemy right at the end of that was just rude. Come on! Ooh, finishing entries left and right today. And we can do another crystal dash up here. And with one more slightly precise jump, we make it to Hallownest's crown, the highest point in this entire world. Not actually too much higher from where we very first began. The vast majority of this world is beneath us. There's very little up here except for one statue of some sort of winged bug and a pale ore. Now honestly, this is my bad. We could have heard about pale ore by this point, but I just forgot to talk to someone. We're going to jump off right here. If we talked to the nailsmith again after he upgraded our nail, he would have said this. Unfortunately, since I didn't do that, he didn't say that to us, but essentially, we have now found a pale ore, which is spectacular. It's going to allow us to do quite a bit and get ourselves an upgrade to our nail once again. Now clear down here at the very bottom of the right shaft is an area we did not explore previously. And it's got all kinds of enemies around it, and money, and just stuff. And I want stuff. Stuff is good. Got all that money hoovered up. And we're... Ooh, man, more miners. Wow, 3 of them. Oh, sweet. Let's see what their entry is. I'm actually curious. Here we are. The bugs of Hallownest lusted after the strangest things in life. They would dig furtively through the dirt for stone, ore, and in particular the crystals that grow at the top of the world. Money drives us all mad. Down here at the very bottom of the shaft, we see a gate on our left and more of these stompy platforms on our right. Same deal as before, just get a feel for their timing and dash through whenever you got the moment. But they're gonna mix it up on us now. We've got this lowered, like, area that it's stomping in, so we can't get as close as possible without falling down beneath. It's going to make the timing a little more stricter than it looks. And this is one of the toughest here. Okay, nice. And there's an optional one with conveyor belts off to the side here. Conveyor belts are going to help us move quicker, actually. But once again, pull a lever that's going to stop all those from ever stomping again. Almost sad when you put it that way. They're just machinery, it's fine. And head yet deeper down. We find another grub, a gate, and a room that we have actually been into once before. We climbed up this way and got a rancid egg in this room. Hang on. A rancid egg in this... No, not this room either. Where am I? This is the room where we got the rancid egg. It was... So we are right here now. All the way down here at the bottom. And now, with our crystal heart in tow, we can head off this direction and find a pitch dark room. Now this... this room and I have a history. I have died in this room more times than most bosses have killed me. It's dark. You've got these... This room is the reason why I hate the Crystal Hunters. You've got all these Crystal Hunters and these really tight platforms that they can mark up with spikes. And I've essentially gotten used to it by now. I don't know why I just tried to heal there. I wasn't missing a mask. Okay. So, all the way here at the end, we find a chasm, and on the other side of it, grab all the soul you can. We're going to need it, probably. We come into a room with another crumbling floor. Any secrets on the walls here? Apparently not. We find a crystallized mound. I believe... Wow, this room is just even meaner than that other one. I don't know why I don't have as many bad experiences or bad memories of it. We're just going to ignore those crystal hunters. He says, trying not to ignore them. There we go. Got your entry. The ultimate insult to a monster getting their Monsterpedia entry. Oh dear. So this mound has a pretty rough reputation because it is built entirely around... Ow! Jeez, these flippy platforms. Which are tough things to navigate for good reason, but once again, bear in mind the trick that you can... Bear in mind the trick that you can nail pogo on them after they have already flipped, and that should give you a little bit of necessary breathing room to go about your business here. So I believe I didn't get to finish my statement because I got a little overwhelmed. This is our second mound. And mounds, the last one we went to was the Ancestral Mound in the Forgotten Crossroad, and it's where we learned the Vengeful Spirit technique. Now there are a few secrets here and about, so let's try and gather them. And we see another Snail Shaman. This one, crystallized. Wonder if she has thoughts. Free me. Well, I'll do my best. Did I do it? Was that good? We consumed the Descending Dark. That is our first spell upgrade. It has increased the capabilities of our Desolate Dive, turned it into something with a much larger hitbox that also does more damage. While we're here, we're going to head up this way, and we get the achievement Grub Friend. I believe that is for rescuing half of the grubs throughout... Oh, shoot, that's not how I thought that would work. Thought that was just going to flip me off and drop me underneath it. So that is, I believe, for rescuing half the grubs throughout Hallownest, so we have gotten quite a bit. Oh, shoot. No. Okay, I'll meet you guys back up at the top. And back outside. We crossed over a chasm here that was very distinctly not spiky. So why don't we head down? Oh, shoot. That looked like a secret. I don't think it was, actually. Hang on. Not a secret. We're good. And we find ourselves back down in the resting grounds. This is the way most players, I think, will have found this place. Not by the tramway, but instead by falling down from the Crystal Peaks. But since we're back here again, this seems like a fantastic opportunity to go show our progress back to the seer. Ah, Wielder, you've returned. Let me have a look at that dream nail. Ah, your dream nail holds over 200 essence. You're proving your talent in its collection. Have you seen that great door just outside? My tribe closed it long ago and forbade its opening. Ah, but as far as I can tell, I'm the only member of my tribe still breathing. That means I needn't feel bad about breaking a taboo. As proof of my belief in you, I'll open that door. That sounds worth checking out. There, the door is open and you can enter the glade beyond it. Listen closely in there, and you may hear the utterings of bugs long gone. Talk to her again, since we've collected a couple more milestones than that. So, you've collected 300 essence. Yes, I can see the dreams of this old kingdom are starting to cling to you. Very encouraging. You've certainly made my dreary work here more exciting. Being the caretaker of this place hasn't been very stimulating. I shouldn't complain, though, tending these graves and guiding the wielder. All penitence for old crimes. Certain things have to be kept in balance. Take this trinket for your efforts, and return with 500 essence. Keep up your tireless work. Ooh, another pale ore. Fantastic. Ah, 500 essence. You're a master in the making. Well done, well done. I have a small reward for you. Plucked from one of my most precious memories, this charm will bring you and the dream nail closer together still. The secrets of this kingdom won't be able to hide from you any longer. Take it, and return once you've collected 700 essence. More gifts await you. Have we passed that? We have not passed 700 yet. I feel like we're close, though. Yeah, 644. So, that is a whole lot of stuff for us. The first thing I'm going to do is equip and show off the Dream Wielder. A pretty nifty charm that drastically reduces the amount of time it takes us to swing our Dream Nail, and, in conjunction, I believe doubles the amount of soul that we collect when we land a hit on a creature with it, from 33 to 66. Now here's the door that she opened for us. And we enter the Spirit's Glade. The bugs within its glade are under my watch. Treat them with respect and you remain, but raise your nail and you'll contend with me. This is I'm gonna pronounce it Revik. I assure you, Wanderer, my nail is sharp and I'll not hold back. If you do want to beat Revik and get the 19 or so spirit essence from all of the ghosts in this glade, then you'll need to know a thing or two. And that is, one, he does not mess around at all. He is incredibly powerful and can not be damaged. He can only be stalled. Hence why I'm not doing this on Steel Soul mode. Not to mention, it just seems kind of mean. Look how cute these guys are. Buy my cookies, they're ever so tasty. Yeah, no, I don't wanna take out these guys. If you do, you're just kind of awful. But if you get the timing on his attacks down just right, you can parry them. Or by hitting him with any spell, you can also forestall him for a little bit. And as long as you are stunning him, he'll take a moment to come back. And you can start hoovering up the spirits this way. Any spirit that you vanquish will remain vanquished as such. And your ultimate goal is to take on all of the spirits one by one. As long as you have infinite lives and can keep coming back, it's essentially inevitable that you'll win. Ouch. I highly recommend having the Dream Wielder in order to get through this. That way you have the most amount of time in between the amount of, like, the dream slashes that you actually do. You can take out these bugs, no problem. Man, that is so tight. I also have the Mark of Pride equipped to slightly increase my odds of parrying. Some people actually consider Revik to be a boss in his own right, a warrior dream, more so. I'm not sure I would go that far. He really just works so differently from every other boss. No one else is invincible until you fulfill a condition this way. I would consider him... He's also not really considered a boss by the game itself. I also want to point out you can stun him if you hit him with the Dream Nail while he's dashing, but the timing to do that is even stricter. Another reason that I don't consider him to be a warrior dream or any sort of boss is because he's not necessary for any sort of completion in this entire game. Beating him is not necessary even for like the highest caliber. Oops, I already talked to you. The highest caliber of completion here. Oh, goodness. I have so little health. Hey, I dodged you. Nice. Almost got you. Where are you? Nope, not there. Nope! Ah, shoot. So close. You cannot truly defeat me. Back at it again. There are only 4 more bugs to take on. Ooh, what a parry. And I think this should do it. Once you have cleared out the area of all of its dreams, we're gonna try and leave by my own way, not by yours. Yes! And you can come on back and find Revik looking a little bit sad.
The glade is still. It's so quiet, yet I feel failure. In this place I once performed a task, but what was it? It's so hard to recall. Surely it was important. How could I forget such a thing? To protect? Was that my task? If so, who was I protecting? It's only you and me here.
There is very good reason why I'm not doing that on my main file, and it's not just because I don't want to die in Steel Soul mode. It is because it is really sad. As ever, I am not sure if hitting the spirits with our Dream Nail is a good or bad thing. It's impossible to say for certain, but it seems so much sadder to do it this way. This area is filled to the brim with all of the remains of these bugs and so many dreams that we can speak to. If I talked to all of them, we would be here for like half an hour. So I believe that this would be a good place to return to steadily over the course of our journey and speak to a bug or two as we go.
Are you enjoying your time in our glade? I'd offer advice. Those who made it here, you're obviously quite adept at navigating our world and its perils.
Yeah, you look cool. Look at that tail and those wings. I wish I had wings. That'd be so much cooler. But there are a few important things for us to find here besides just the bugs. Travel up to the top right, and we can fill the area with some essence to collect, which seems fitting. And I believe right here, yep, right over here, we can find a secret over behind this waterfall. Now, I have always thought that the secret to good game design is hiding secrets behind waterfalls. It is how you can tell a good game from a bad game. A good game has waterfalls with secrets behind them. A bad game has waterfalls that you cannot explore past. They're just there for looks. Try it out. This test is 100% foolproof. I missed one. Ah, where is it? Found it. Alright, is that it? Yes. Now we are actually a mere 22 away from our next goal. And I want to draw attention once again to the idea of using our dream nail on spirits. Because as yet, I am still unsure about whether or not it is a good thing. There we go, that's gonna be pretty good to grab. Revik there is our first evidence that dream nailing is frowned upon by the creature, by the dreams themselves. We have a few hints to go off of. It's possible, it's possible that the dreams are not really a consciousness, but rather just lingering regrets or wills, and are not in fact the bugs themselves or their spirits or anything like that. These enemies down here deal 2 damage, really frightening. And tons of hidden walls. But Revik herself, also being a spirit, cannot be vanquished with the dream nail, or whatever word you wish to use. So, and she will fight back if you try to dream nail her or any of the other bugs in the glade, which seems to indicate that at least from her perspective, it is not a positive thing. Again, I still don't have, like, all the facts necessary to give a definitive answer, but I can tell you, as we go along, more of the information as we gather it, and you can make the decisions for yourself. Yikes, where did you even come from? We've got another snail, and Soul Eater. The Soul Eater is a really, really good charm, at least in its effect. It is essentially 2 soul catchers stitched together.
So dark.
Well, yes, it is rather dark down here. It is essentially 2 soul catchers stitched together. It will drastically increase the amount of soul we get from... Yikes, jeez. Okay, this is worse than Deep Nest. The amount of soul that we get from a given attack, but in exchange, it costs 4 total notches, the most expensive charm we've seen so far. Generally, it is accepted that it's just not worth it to spend 4 charms, but let's say that you want to anyway. You can see if you try and fit a charm that's too big into a space, that space cracks a little bit, but it bounces back. But if you're persistent, you gain the Overcharmed achievement. Overcharming does allow you to break the limits by at least 1 charm, possibly 2 as I've done here, or even 3, depending on how economic you are. However, being overcharmed is dangerous. It doubles the amount of damage you receive from absolutely every possible source. Also generally considered not to be worth it, but if you are absolutely obsessed with a certain set of charms and must have it, I suppose. Ah, Mihon, this world, this cruel, sinful world, why does she wake? Why does she persist? Ah, Lemire, you could not know of tragedy as complete as she's. True lovers stripped apart, 2 worlds that could not meet. And now, meld lover, dead so long in time, dead so far away, buried Moina? Aye, amongst its hateful kin, that did deny our union, that did reject Che's outsideness. She doesn't suppose? Nalo, Nalo, could Che ask? Could Che burden? Lemire, couldst you deliver a gift to her grave? The gift is maybe small, but the trek is long. She rests among her kind near our queen's lush refuge. Would such a thing be done? Che asks, perhaps impossible things? Mad things? For Lemire to take up such request would be a kindness Che has near forgotten. We have not seen any grave that describes what she's talking about, so I think I will reject this offer for now. You turn away? Che should have expected such. This world is not one of favors, only of heartache. Nails and claws.
Why must it be so?
We can see that she actually has a giant nail hanging on the wall right next to her. She looks frail, but it appears that she's more formidable than her appearance would suggest. So we'll keep an eye out for the grave that she mentions. But until then, we'll let her stay here in the Grey Manor. Back down here in the catacombs, if we explore left of where we did as opposed to right, there's still more for us to find. This world is just so dense. I love it. Keep an eye out for these yikes! Oh, man. I didn't even hear that one. Anyway, keep an eye out for these cracks as secrets and secrets abound. Further yet still. Oh my goodness! Wow, that was matrixed. Find another Hallownest seal. Hopefully we have leave to call on Lem again soon, because we have got tons of that stuff. Another secret opens up this way, and we find ourselves an elevator. Before we travel down it, though, and discover what secrets lie at its base, we're going to head over this way and discover a new enemy. This is called a Great Husk. And this is generally considered to be the toughest regular enemy in the game. He's got 2 different attacks, and the ability to shield himself from both above and in front of himself. And he's got so much HP, more than a lot of bosses that we've fought. But we can... There we go, we got him. As long as you stay nimble, continually jump above and behind him while watching out for any slashes that he does, you can avoid him. He also does 2 damage, not just 1, which makes him all the more threatening. More threatening still than many bosses, say again. That's a weird thing to hide behind a hidden wall. I think that's just about the first one like that we've seen. Up this way, we'll find that we just unlocked a secret passage underneath Zero's grave. But we've explored that area pretty thoroughly, so we're going to head back down. And to the left here, we discover the Blue Lake. One of the prettiest areas in Hallownest by a pretty large margin, I must say. Oh, hello there. Gah, what a calm place. It's action I want, vicious and deadly battle. This serenity is a bore. I find it a nice change of pace. Actually, we haven't had the ability to dreamnail him in a while.
That place calls to me. Somewhere beyond this lake, perhaps?
So peaceful. So dull. Well, hopefully he finds what he's looking for, because he seems not much for conversation as long as... Wow! Stealth little crawler thing. Oh, dang it, I fell. Ah, shit, hang on. We find another blug sack. I don't know why I thought just killing it and not picking up its egg was a good idea. Let's go ahead and take that egg. And head back to the left end of the lake. And we find ourselves once more back in the Forgotten Crossroads, right over top of Salubra's place. What a good opportunity to shop with her right now. We have the abilities to buy both of the charm notches available because we have just been that diligent in charm collecting. My blessing. Once you own 40 charms, I'll gladly sell it to you. You're only 14 away from that, which is quite impressive. Now, I don't know how I forgot to draw attention to quick focus. It does basically what it says on the tin. It reduces the amount of time that it takes to heal. I don't know why I skimmed right over that. Dear, I really must hold it together. I must appear calm, but this creature is just divine. Well, I am cute. And I denied myself the opportunity to sit on so lovely a bench before, but now I definitely shall. Now, while we are here in the Forgotten Crossroads, there are a few things that we can get done, just for the sake of efficiency. Starting with up here, this is something we've been able to do since we got the Mantis Claw, but I didn't really have a good opportunity to come back here and do it before. Up, up and to the left around here. Lots of tests of our abilities. Dodging all these vile creatures. I think I can just do this, right? Yeah! And we find ourselves another mask shard, starting on our 8th one now. Awesome. I suppose I should mention I am right here, as far as where this area is. And while we're here, we're gonna stop in at our hot spring to find it occupied. These bugs stop muttering to themselves when we get close and will not speak to us, but silence is a barrier we have no trouble breaking.
Another weak one. I'd suggest it try a snail within the Colosseum, though it no doubt be squashed in an instant.
I believe that's the second mention we've heard of this Colosseum. Now, this is the first time I've had this much soul since we actually got our new soul vessel, so I want to show off something. Not here, though. Here. So basically, as long as we have our full soul meter, it still works the way it did. We can use soul until it's empty. However, we can't dip in to our reserve soul until it fills back in. So we can still only use 3 spells at a time, or only heal 3 at a time. But it is still very useful to have more. Let's inspect this and find a fossilized gome wedged into the rock. And that gets us the entry for those creatures that we've been seeing around since our earliest days of adventuring. Thickly armored, it bursts from the ground to seize prey in its fangs. These brutes have been impervious to most damage, so you can sharpen your nail on their hide or just slash away at them for your own amusement. They barely seem to notice. More hazards than enemy, but it's kind of interesting the perspective that we get from the hunter. He's so objective, and yet also kind of a psychopath. Our next and final stop is right here. A very well hidden breakable wall up in that corner. Hides a few things from us. Nothing too major from that point, but then we see this whole row of spikes above and below. There's no nail pogoing across that. We need the crystal dash for this area. We can go ahead and break that just because of it, just for the dang of it. And up here, we start finding a lot of telltale signs of the infection. And tons of aspids. And actually, what are... Oh, jeez. Move! Okay. I think they might be called bloated aspids? No, aspid mothers. That makes perfect sense. Break our way all the way through them. And we'll find our way into another arena where it looks like we're just gonna have to fight yet more of them. Oh dear. This is not going well. That's fine. This guy got stuck on the top of a platform. He couldn't shoot me. Haha. Alright, some more all around. Obviously, the mothers are very high priority because we don't want their young to become too numerous to deal with. We are just filling up entries left and right. I love it. Maybe we should go and check in with the hunter sometime. See what he thinks of our progress. That seems like it would be fun. I'm gonna make some use of my new Descending Dark while I'm here, just because that massive hitbox is so good at dealing with large amounts of enemies like that. So we're getting through that whole aspid rush. We find the biggest aspid of all. Breathe! And a charm, the glowing womb. I'm going to hold off on talking about exactly what that does and how it works till later, because we have one more stop to make. Here in the room where we first fought the false knight, there's a climbable wall up along the side here. Reach the top of it, and you're not going to find too much. Just some geo, all those barrels that he had fallen from the ceiling. We can see where those came from. This is some sort of storeroom. And then a route back down the other side. But you can also hear something. And if you follow your ears to this breakable wall, you'll find some more maggots.
Oh no, 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 no. Wake up, brother, help me.
Now, you can kill these guys, but I'm not going to at the moment. We see something more pressing. It seems it's happening again. We have found another dream realm. And we will find just what lies within next time. See you guys then.